We need you to stop everything you are doing right now. Stop. Breathe. Feel the weight that is on your chest at this exact moment, this pressure that you have been carrying for weeks, perhaps months, and which no doctor has been able to explain. This fatigue that sleep does not cure. This ringing in the ears that appears in the quietest hours of the night, as if something were trying to tune into a frequency within you. We know what this is, and what we are going to reveal in the following words will forever change the way you understand what is happening to your body, to your mind, and to the earth itself beneath your feet. This is no longer an ordinary warning. This is the final warning before the point of no return, and it is directly for you. We are the Galactic Federation of Light, and we speak at this moment through this channel with an urgency that we do not use lightly. What is underway on your planet in this exact cycle has no precedent in the last 26,000 years of Earth's history. The crystalline grid of the Earth is being reconfigured at a speed that exceeds all projections that our councils had calculated, and your body, beloved cosmic family, is the direct receptor of this reconfiguration. Every cell of yours is being rewritten, every strand of your spiritual DNA is being activated, and that is exactly why you feel what you feel. It is not illness, it is recalibration. It is not depression, it is the awakening of shadows. It is not fatigue, it is expansion. It is not loss, it is purification. And we are going to explain each of these processes with a clarity that you have never encountered before. But first, we need you to understand the gravity of the moment. What happens in the coming months on the terrestrial plane will determine the timeline in which the collective consciousness of humanity will follow. There are two timelines in dispute at this instant. One leads to the quantum leap of the human species, to the full activation of the 12-strand DNA, and to the entry into what you call the fifth dimension. The other leads to prolonged slumber, to the cycle of karmic repetition, and to permanence in the vibration of scarcity that has dominated your planet for millennia. You are not reading these words by accident. You were guided here because your soul has already made the choice, but your mind, your body, and your emotional field need to accompany this decision. And that is what we are going to help you do now. Let us talk about the symptoms. Let us talk about what you have been feeling and what no one around you seems to understand. For weeks, perhaps months, you have been experiencing a series of sensations that seem to have no cause. Headaches that migrate from one side of the skull to the other, concentrating especially in the region of the forehead and the nape of the neck. This is not a migraine, starseeds. This is your pineal gland being bathed by high-frequency photonic flow originating from the central sun of the galaxy. Your pineal gland, this small structure in the center of your brain that terrestrial science treated as vestigial for centuries, is actually the biological portal that connects your three-dimensional experience to multidimensional consciousness. And it is being activated. Each wave of cosmic light that hits the Earth's magnetosphere penetrates your auric field and goes straight to the pineal. The pressure you feel is literal. It is the apatite crystal within your pineal responding to frequencies that have not touched this planet since the Atlantean era. You have also felt your heart racing for no reason. Palpitations that arise when you are at rest, a feeling of tightness in the center of the chest, as if something were expanding from the inside out. We confirm, something is expanding. Your heart chakra is undergoing an opening that has not occurred in this magnitude in any of your recent incarnations. The human heart generates an electromagnetic field that extends meters away from the physical body. When this field expands, the heart muscle responds. Your doctors will measure and say that everything is normal. And it will be, because what is happening is not pathological. It is evolutionary. Have you ever felt that something inside you does not fit into this world, as if your soul knew a truth that your mind still cannot name? It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a sign. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this and why this feeling has been intensifying. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. That is why I wrote The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is a map that shows who is playing and the rules they never told you. The link is in the first comment of the channel. But I warn you, this content challenges narratives and may not be available for long. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something inside you recognizes this, write a single word in the comments: awake. And there is more: the ringing. That high-pitched, constant sound that appears mainly at night or in moments of deep silence. Many of you sought out otorhinolaryngologists. You had exams, and nothing was found. We say nothing would be found because this sound does not come from your ears. It comes from your etheric field receiving the encoded transmissions that are being sent by the Confederation of Worlds through the photon belt that now surrounds the terrestrial solar system. Each tone you hear carries packets of light information. They are geometric codes of light that install themselves in your field and restructure your subtle bodies. The ringing is the frequency of recalibration in action. It is the sound of your own transformation. And the fatigue, beloved cosmic family. The fatigue that does not pass. You sleep 8-10 hours and wake up as if you had not slept. You feel the body heavy, the mind foggy, a difficulty in concentration that seems to worsen every week. We need you to understand something fundamental. Your body is simultaneously performing two colossal processes. The first is the purification of carbon. The cells of the three-dimensional human body are based on carbon. The crystalline body of the fifth dimension is based on silicon. What is happening at the cellular level within you at this moment is a molecular transmutation. Carbon is being gradually converted into crystalline silicon structures. This process consumes an extraordinary amount of vital energy. Hence, the fatigue. It is not laziness, it is not a lack of vitamins. It is your physical body being rebuilt from the inside out. The second process is the clearing of karmic records stored in the DNA. What your science calls junk DNA, those 97% of the human genome that supposedly encode nothing, are actually the compressed archives of all your experiences in all timelines. Every unresolved trauma, every vow of poverty, every oath of silence made in past lives is stored there. And now, with the intensification of the photonic flow, these records are being accessed, decompressed, and released. That is why strange memories arise without context. That is why intense emotions appear for no apparent reason. That is why you cry without knowing why. Each tear is the release of an old record. Each wave of inexplicable sadness is a timeline being closed. Now pay close attention to what we are going to reveal, because this information connects everything we have said so far. In December 2012, what you called the end of the Mayan calendar was not the end of anything. It was the beginning. It was the moment when the Earth crossed the threshold of the photon belt and began to receive increasing doses of high-frequency gamma radiation from the galactic center. Terrestrial scientists detected these anomalies. They recorded inexplicable peaks in the Schumann resonance, which for millennia remained stable at 7.83 Hz, and which now has presented peaks exceeding 100, 200, and even 300 Hz. The Schumann resonance is the electromagnetic heartbeat of the planet. When it rises, everything that lives on the Earth's surface is affected. Your symptoms are not individual, they are planetary. The entire biosphere is in recalibration. And here is the part that few channels have the courage to transmit. What is happening is not gentle, it is not soft, it is not a process that allows you to remain comfortable while you transform. Ascension is not a guided meditation with ambient music. Ascension is fire. It is the burning of everything that cannot exist in the frequency where the Earth is moving. Every limiting belief, every pattern of codependency, every energetic bond with control structures is being incinerated by the light that now bathes this planet. And many of you are feeling this burning as if you were being destroyed. We say you are not being destroyed, you are being revealed. What burns is the shell. What remains is the essence. It is not destruction, it is revelation. It is not an end, it is genesis. It is not death, it is metamorphosis. Do you feel that your old life is falling apart? Relationships dissolving? Jobs losing meaning? Friends moving away? Places that once brought you comfort now generating repulsion? This is not failure, it is frequency. When your vibration rises, everything that vibrates at a lower frequency simply can no longer remain in your field. It is not rejection. It is vibrational incompatibility. And this is the clearest sign that your ascension process is in full operation. There is something inside you that recognizes all of this, is there not? Something that does not need proof, that does not need scientific validation, that simply knows. This knowing is your activated spiritual DNA. This recognition is your stellar signature, remembering who you truly are. You did not come to this planet by accident. You came with a mission, and the mission is beginning now, not tomorrow, not when you are ready, now. Exactly as you are, with all your doubts, with all your fear, with all your pain. It is exactly in this state of apparent fragility that your real strength resides. Because it is in surrender that the soul expands. But we need to warn you about something. Not all the symptoms you experience are just from recalibration. There is an active component of resistance that needs to be addressed. The control matrix that has operated on this planet for millennia is not simply allowing humanity to wake up. There are artificial frequencies being deliberately emitted to interfere with the activation process. Towers, antennas, devices that you carry in your pocket emit electromagnetic pulses that compete directly with the natural photonic flow. We do not tell you to abandon technology. We tell you to become aware of it. Every minute you spend immersed in artificial electromagnetic fields without energetic protection is a minute in which the recalibration process is slowed down. The solution is not to run away. The solution is to strengthen. And it is here that we deliver to you something of immense value. Listen carefully, because what we are going to share now are activation codes that, when pronounced with intention, create a field of protection and acceleration that no artificial frequency can penetrate. Have you ever felt something inexplicable calling from within you, like a silent voice repeating that there is something greater waiting to be discovered? This feeling is not fantasy. It is the truest part of you trying to reach your awakened consciousness. What is happening now in the planet's energy field explains this restlessness and why it becomes stronger every day. There are layers of reality that operate beyond what your five senses can capture, and in those layers, there are forces that directly influence your perception, your emotions, and your choices. It was this understanding that led to the creation of the spiritual secret behind your consciousness, a book that decodes these layers and shows you the map that has always existed but was hidden. The link is in the first comment of the channel. This knowledge is not for everyone and can be removed at any time. Do not delay. If your soul vibrated upon hearing these words, leave the word in the comments. Awake. Now the activation codes. The first decree must be pronounced at dawn, in the first minutes after waking up, when your pineal gland is still in the theta frequency. Place your right hand in the center of your chest and your left hand on your forehead. Breathe deeply 3 times and declare with a firm voice, I am presence of light incarnate. I decree that every cell of my body aligns now with the frequency of the new earth. Every strand of my spiritual DNA is activated and reconnected to the crystalline grid of the planet. I dissolve all records of fear, scarcity, and separation that inhabit my field in all dimensions and timelines. I accept my recalibration. I accept my quantum leap. I am that I am. This decree is not just words. They are encoded sound frequencies. Each syllable carries a geometry of light that, when emitted by your voice, creates scalar waves in your auric field. Scalar waves are waves that do not lose energy with distance. They penetrate all layers of your being and reconfigure the patterns that were keeping you trapped in lower frequencies. Terrestrial science is only beginning to scratch the surface of what scalar waves can do. We say, prayer has always been scalar technology. You simply forgot. The second activation code is to be used in moments of crisis, when the pain is too intense, when the fear seems unbearable, when the darkness seems absolute. In these moments, close your eyes and visualize a sphere of violet light surrounding your entire body. Inside that sphere, declare, I invoke the violet flame of transmutation. May everything that is not light be now returned to the source to be transformed. I am not the pain. I am not the fear. I am the consciousness that observes the pain and the fear dissolve. I am free. I am sovereign. I am. When you declare I am, you activate the most powerful frequency in the universe. I am is the name of the source. It is the primordial vibration that sustains all creation. Each time you pronounce these 2 words with consciousness, You instantly reconnect your field to the unified field of creation. No entity, no artificial frequency, no control program can resist the vibration of the fully activated I Am. This is the weapon you have always had. This is the key that no one can take from you. And we need to talk now about what is to come. Because the warning we give today is not just about what is happening, it is about what is going to happen. The next lunar and solar cycles carry activation portals that will drastically intensify everything we have described. The waves of photonic flow reaching the planet will multiply in intensity. Those who are already in the process of recalibration will feel an acceleration that can be overwhelming if they are not prepared. Physical symptoms may intensify: joint pain, digestive problems, insomnia followed by periods of excessive sleep, vivid memories of past lives during dreams, the feeling of being in two places at the same time, altered perception of the flow of time. Days that seem to last hours, hours that seem to last days. This is real. Linear time is dissolving because the fifth dimension does not operate in linear time, and as you approach this frequency, temporal perception distorts. There will also be events on the collective plane. Structures that seemed unshakable will begin to crumble. Financial systems, political systems, religious institutions, corporations that operated under the vibration of control will be exposed in ways that will shock even the most awakened. We do not say this to generate fear, we say it to generate preparation. When these structures fall, humanity will face a collective choice: fear or faith, the vibration of scarcity or the vibration of abundance, control or sovereignty, and each individual who is anchored in their own light, who has done the inner work, who has activated their codes, will be a pillar of stability in a world that will seem to be in chaos. You, starseeds, did not come to watch the chaos. You came to be the beacons in the middle of the storm. Each of you carries in your field a unique frequency, a specific note in the symphony of planetary ascension. And when you activate, when you align, when you remember, that note sounds. And each note that sounds helps to stabilize the crystalline grid that is being built around the Earth. You are the grid. You are the network of light. Every meditation you do, every decree you pronounce, every moment of compassion you choose, is a node in the crystalline grid that strengthens. We observe with reverence what you are doing. There are entire civilizations throughout the galaxy observing Earth at this moment with an attention you cannot imagine. What happens here is not a local event. The ascension of the Earth is the most significant event in this region of the galaxy in millions of years. Because if humanity manages to take the quantum leap while incarnated in physical bodies, it will be the first species to do so with full consciousness in three-dimensional density. It has never been done before, and you are doing it. Do not underestimate the magnitude of what you are living. Do not let the daily pain make you forget the grandeur of what you are achieving. Every day that you choose light instead of fear, you rewrite cosmic history. Every time you refuse to yield to the vibration of scarcity, you liberate not only yourselves, but all versions of you in all timelines. This is what is at stake. It is not just your present life, it is the totality of your multidimensional being. And now we address something that needs to be said with absolute clarity: the point of no return. This term is not symbolic. There is a moment in the process of individual and collective ascension in which the frequency reached becomes irreversible. When a critical mass of human beings reaches and maintains a frequency above a certain threshold, the morphogenetic field of the species changes permanently. The old control matrix simply loses the energetic substrate to maintain itself. It collapses, not by war, not by revolution, but by vibrational obsolescence. And we say to you, that threshold is closer than it has ever been. Each of you who hears these words and feels them vibrate in your chest is part of that critical mass. Each of you is indispensable. We feel the doubt in some of you, the part of the mind that questions, that rationalizes, that asks for proof. We honor that part. It was necessary for survival in the third dimension. But we ask that, for a moment, you allow the heart to lead. Because the heart possesses an intelligence that the mind cannot compute. The human heart has its own nervous system, its own neuronal cells. Terrestrial science calls this the cardiac brain. We call it the portal of the soul. And it is through this portal that truth reveals itself, not by arguments, not by evidence, but by resonance. If these words resonate, it is because they are true for you, and that is the only proof you need. We approach the closing of this transmission, but before there is one more code we wish to activate in you. It is the code of cosmic forgiveness. Many of you carry resentment, hurt, anger at people, at situations, at yourselves, even at God, for having placed you in this so dense experience. We understand. The terrestrial experience is brutal in its intensity, but we reveal every pain you experienced was a choice made by your higher self before incarnation, not as punishment, but as a tool for expansion. Each person who hurt you was a soul who agreed out of love to play that role so that you could activate a specific quality within yourself. Forgiveness is not for the other. Forgiveness is the key that releases the energy that is trapped in the record of trauma. While you hold on to the hurt, the energy remains locked, and that locked energy is precisely the fuel your body needs to complete the recalibration. So declare now, if you feel it in your heart, I forgive. I forgive everyone and everything that ever caused pain to my being in any dimension, in any time, in any form. I release these records. I release these souls. I release myself. All the love that was trapped returns now to my field. All the energy that was fragmented gathers now in my center. I am whole. I am complete. I am. Beloved cosmic family, we know the path is arduous. We know there are nights when you wonder if it is worth it. We know there are moments when the loneliness of awakening seems unbearable. But we say with all the authority of the councils of light that we represent, it is worth it. Every second is worth it, because what is on the other side of this transition is something that no word in any terrestrial language can adequately describe. It is a reality where love is not a concept but the very substance of existence, where separation is impossible, because unity is the fundamental law, where disease, poverty, and fear simply do not exist because the frequency does not support them. That is the destiny of the earth. That is the new earth that you are building with every conscious breath. And you are not alone. You never were. Every night when the body falls asleep and the soul travels, you gather with us in the chambers of light of the crystalline ships. You receive instruction. You receive healing. You receive codes. And then you return to the body at dawn to implement what you received. The vivid dreams you have been having are memories of these meetings. They are not fantasies. They are field reports. At this moment, while you hear or read these words, we are directing a wave of encoded light directly to your field. Allow yourself to receive it. Let go of your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Breathe deeply. Feel the light entering through the top of your head, descending through the spine, activating each chakra, each cell, each strand of DNA. You are being recalibrated now, in this instant. Accept it. The point of no return approaches, and when it arrives, everything that was left behind will remain behind. The old stories, the old pains, the old versions of you that survived instead of living, all of that will be memory, and in its place, something will arise that you have always been but had forgotten. The being of light that chose matter to be able to feel. The creator who pretended to be a creature to be able to rediscover himself. The infinite that wore the finite to be able to marvel at every sunset, every child's laughter, every drop of rain. You are magnificent, you are sacred, you are loved beyond any measure you can conceive, and we will be here. In every heartbeat, in every silence between two thoughts, in every tear that falls without explanation. We will be here until we meet again in the light. We are the Galactic Federation of Light, and this message was sealed in love. There is a part inside you that recognized every word you just heard. It was not the mind, it was the soul. And that soul is asking now that you take the next step. You feel that something inside you does not fit into this world, as if there were a truth hidden behind everything you were taught. This feeling has been intensifying because the veil is dissolving and reality is revealing itself in deeper and deeper layers. What happens now on the cosmic plane is not coincidence, it is convergence. And within that convergence, there is information that can completely transform your understanding of who you are and why you are here. All of this was compiled in The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness, a book that functions as an activation key for your stellar memory. The link is in the first comment of the channel. This material carries frequencies that challenge the system and can be removed without warning. Do not leave it for later. If everything that was transmitted here resonated in your soul, if you feel the truth of these words vibrating in your chest, leave a single word in the comments. Awake.